People of Brooklyn, please welcome the most famous Hari Kondabolu in the world, Hari Kondabolu! Brooklyn! How are we? How are we? Thank you. Thank you very much. It is an honor to do this special in my hometown, New York City. I was born and raised in this city. Is anybody else actually born and raised in New York? Oh, that's great. The rest of you can go back to where you came from. It feels so good for me to say that to other people, finally. I get it now, racist, I get it. I was here first. Big news in my life is I'm a new father. That's all right, you know, that's okay. It makes me feel guilty when people clap. It's like getting an A in a group project you did like 7 minutes of work for. I was told 3 minutes was funnier, but my dignity would not allow for it. There's an expression that goes, 80% of success is just showing up. My partner would strongly disagree with that statistic. Because I showed up in that delivery room and I did not contribute to the success. At best, I was like the doctor's hype man. You know? Push! Yes, sweetie, push! Push it real good! It's worthless, I was worthless. Meanwhile, she was performing a miracle. If you compare the actual amounts of work we did, it becomes clear. Father's Day should be on a leap year. I'm really excited to be a father. It's something I've wanted for a really long time. And I remember the baby was born. I was just so excited. My friend Kamau called. He's like, congrats, man. And I'm like, I know, can you believe it? I'm a daddy. I'm a daddy. And he's like, you really have to stop saying that out loud. That does not sound the way you think it sounds. And I get it, daddy has like sexual connotations in our society. It sounds a little weird. Like if Barack Obama's first book, Dreams from My Father, was called Dreams from My Daddy, it sounds like a different kind of book. Different lessons learned along the way. Imagine you're watching a documentary. It's like Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and the other founding daddies. It's strange. Walk into a confessional like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And the priest is like, please, call me Daddy. Father is my father's name. Now tell Daddy about the naughty things you've done. Nobody would be confused if I used the word daddy. Why? Because I look like a father. I have what experts call resting go-to-your-room face. I have always looked like a father. When I was 14, I had a mustache, a comb-over, and like good credit. I could have bought alcohol at 14 without getting carded. Would you like to check my ID? Well, I don't think that's necessary, sir. You're clearly a 46-year-old ethnic studies professor. Having a night out. Enjoy your Moscato. Yes, I like Moscato. Me and my partner have had very different experiences being parents, and it was clear it was going to be different from day one. I remember she was holding the baby in her arms, and she was crying, and she looked at the baby, and then she looked at me, and she said, this is the greatest thing I've ever created. And I think she wanted me to say me too, but the thing is, I have a Netflix special, and it's so good. Like, from beginning to end. Joke, joke, joke. It's wonderful the whole way through. And I just met this kid, you know what I mean? The jury is out, you know? People have called my child a COVID baby, which is inaccurate, because he was not conceived during COVID. If you must know, he's a Honolulu Ritz-Carlton vacation baby. The pandemic had nothing to do with it. He was conceived as a result of 200,000 Delta Sky miles and 4 Mai Tais. Do you realize how hard it is to be pregnant during a global pandemic and how strange it is? It's just weird. It's like, people are dying, there's death and despair and no hope, and you're bringing life into that? Having a child during a global pandemic is like buying real estate in Pompeii as Mount Vesuvius is erupting. Now, a little bit about that failed punchline. When I originally wrote that joke, the punchline was, it's like buying real estate in Ukraine as the Russians invaded. And your reaction is completely appropriate. It's a comedic concept known as too soon, right? So I'm like, I got that. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll just go to 79 AD, the destruction of Pompeii by Mount Vesuvius. And I discovered a new concept too long ago. So I'm looking for a tragedy in the sweet spot. I haven't quite found it yet, but hopefully before the end of the night, I can find a horrific event to use as a metaphor that we can all laugh at together as a family. 9 hours after my child was born, he started twitching. And I got scared. I asked a nurse what was going on. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's just having a nightmare. A nightmare? He's 9 hours old. What on earth has happened during the first 9 hours? What, was he ripped out of the only place he knew as home and thrown into a land of bright lights and giants with no guarantees of food safety or shelter, with no real understanding of why he exists? And to be perfectly honest, the giants that run the show don't know why they exist either, They're just hamsters running around a wheel, and all they know for sure is that they're cogs in capitalism, a system they cannot destroy. So what are you twitching about? The nightmare begins now. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, life is terrible. Thank you. That was the lesson in that particular joke, yes. My mom told me that she heard when babies that small have nightmares, it's because their soul is remembering its previous life. And I don't know why she told me this. Why are you telling me that my son is possessed by a spirit with PTSD? So my child's just like, my wife, where's my wife? I'm a baby, when did this happen? What'd I miss? Did Vesuvius explode? My parents are immigrants from India. As you can imagine, stand-up comedian was not their ideal job for me when they left everything behind. They did not come to this country praying, please God, give us an overeducated clown. This wasn't the hope. And I get it, right? They took big risks coming to this country. They don't want their kids taking risks. But here's the thing, what kind of risk am I really taking? As immigrants, they took the risk. If they failed in this country, they would have went back with nothing. That is a tangible risk. As a stand-up comic, what risk am I taking? If I fail at stand-up comedy, I simply land on the safety net that was created by my hard-working immigrant parents. And is that not the American dream? To be successful enough where your piece of shit kids survive even if they don't deserve to? Some of you like that joke. Some of you too close to home? I get it. My father took huge risks coming to this country, man. My father came to this country looking for a job with a degree in botany. A bachelor's degree in botany. And guess what? He couldn't find any botany jobs because it wasn't the 14th century when that was a new field. And he missed the plant rush of 1749. My mother took even bigger risks because she also left everything behind because she married some dude with a botany degree. I feel for my parents, man, now more than ever. It must have been so hard for them. They're immigrants, they're raising American kids. What do they know about American culture, They struggled, they screwed up a lot, but they tried. I remember this one year, me and my brother really wanted a Christmas tree because a lot of our friends had Christmas trees. We'd see Christmas trees in movies and on television. I should let you know at this point, I'm a Hindu, or as it's pronounced in America, Muslim. The fear with that joke is there might be someone who's like, hey man, why did he say Muslim twice? Is he a double Muslim? I don't know. Anyway, Christmas trees. So, me and my brother really wanted a Christmas tree. We're begging for this tree. Finally, my parents get us the tree, but they don't know they're supposed to buy presents and put them under the tree. They think we just want the tree. Dad's excited. Oh, the boys love botany. No idea. He has no idea. We look under the tree early Christmas morning. Me and my brother are like, no! Santa's racing! Kris Kringle, that's 2 Ks right there! My mom and dad are obviously very excited about having a grandkid. I believe my mom's exact words were, this makes up for a lot. I believe I got that right. My father is elated. My dad was over the other day, and my son ran headfirst into the coffee table, and he got this gash above his eyebrow, and it was bleeding. And it wasn't that bad. We still have custody. But my dad started crying, and I'm like, Dad, he's a baby. You know how this works. Kids get hurt. They bounce back. That's part of growing up. You know this. And my dad's like, Hari, you don't understand, okay? As grandparents, our grandkids are more important than our actual kids. Now, it does not surprise me that he believes this. There have been some clues. He tells my son he loves him every single day. You know the first time my father told me he loved me? 2012. And that's because he was having a heart procedure. And as they were wheeling him away, I guess he wanted to get one in just in case. I love you, Hari. Dad, don't say it, Dad. I was fine with your steadfast indifference. Thank you for tolerating me, Father. Picking a name was, of course, difficult, right? I wanted like a strong Indian name that like could be potentially pronounced in this country, you know what I mean? So I asked my mom for suggestions, and she's like, have you thought about Vishwanathan? No. That did not make the short list. Okay, how about Shatrughan? Vikram Aditya? Giridhar. Giridhar? Giridhar. You don't think Americans can pronounce Giridhar? Americans can't pronounce Hari. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to find a name for my kid that maybe doesn't involve him using a mnemonic device so people pronounce it right. Some of you who don't have Judeo-Christian names know this. You need to come up with some sentence, right, to explain how to pronounce your name to people, right? My name is Hari. It's like hurry with a ha. It's not that good, man, but it's not really that effective. It's what I got. Well, that's funny. You're a comedian. Yeah, no. My best friend Juthin's is, my name is Juthin. Rhymes with nothing, which is just... That's sad, man. It's sad. It messes with your self-esteem, something like that, you know? When you think of Juthin, think of nothing. It's just sad. It's sad. My dad's is the worst, man. My dad's is, my name is Ravi, like ravioli. You can't mispronounce the second word, Dad. Dad, you're just gonna confuse people. Ravioli, is that an Indian thing? What is that? I want to be sensitive, I just don't know. A lot of men like to name their sons after themselves, which I never quite understood, you know, like naming a kid like a sequel, you know? Just never felt creative to me. I would never do that unless my kid's name was like Hari Kondabolu, too fast, too furious. Like, otherwise, what's the point, you know? It's unfair to name a kid like a sequel, man, because what do people say about sequels, right? Oh, I hope it's as good as the first one. And it's like never as good as the first one, with the exceptions being like The Empire Strikes Back, right? And World War II. The fuck are you, what are you offended by? What are you, World War I survivors? Like how on earth is that offensive? World War II is the better war. We all know this. If World War I was so great, there wouldn't have been a World War II. And I know what you're going to say, but what about trench warfare, Hari? What about trench warfare? Yeah, World War I had trench warfare. Some people say it was the last real war, but the technology and advancements that came out of World War II affect us to this day, right? As well as such things as the refugee regime, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Covenant of Economic and Social Rights, and you may disagree with these ideas, but you have to admit they came out of World War II, not World War I. And I'm so sick of having this argument with audiences every fucking show. Just get off of World War I's dick, okay? Hey, when did this turn into a TED Talk? I would never name my kid after me, mainly because of ego, right? Because I like being the most famous Hari Kondabolu in the world. And if my son has an amazing life, he might screw that up for me, right? This is important to me. I'll explain why, all right? My name is Hari Kondabolu, but I signed my name Hari K. Kondabolu because as a child, my mother told me to keep my middle initial in my name in case there was another Hari Kondabolu, there wouldn't be any confusion. What I find most disturbing about this is she assumed if there was another Hari Kondabolu, I would have to keep the middle initial in his name. I would be the less famous Hari Kondabolu. My mother thought I was going to be the Michael B. Jordan of Hari Kondabolus. I love my name, and Hari, I love my name. I fought for my name. They called me Harry in elementary school. I fucking hate that name. It's a stupid name. If anyone's named Harry in here, I apologize that you were given a stupid name. Hate that name, man. Go to school, kids be like, it's Dirty Harry, it's Hairy Harry. Hairy Harry used to bother me, but I'm cool with it now. It's like, oh, am I Hairy Harry? Is that right, Bald Greg? Oh, you're using Rogaine? That's cool. This is good genetics and coconut oil. That was a little South Asian dog whistling. They said our hair was greasy because of the coconut oil, but we still have it. Coconut oil sales go through the roof. Hari Kondabolu, new face of parachute coconut oil. Parachute, it's not just for cooking. I remember this one Black History Month, I walked into school, and this kid, and to be fair, it was a stupid thing to say, but he was 8, right? He looked at me, and he's like, hey, look who showed up. It's Harriet Tubman. And he said it like an insult? Oh, no, not famed abolitionist Harriet Tubman. What am I to do with that historical burn? Every semester of college, it was the same thing. I'd go over my name with my professors. It'd be like, it's Hari, not Harry. It's Hari, I'll accept Hari. It's Hari, all right? My last name's Kondabolu. We're not gonna worry about that right now. That is a master's level course. 2 weeks into this one semester, professor walks in. He's like, is Harry here? I'm looking for Harry. I'm like, what is this Harry business? We've gone over this already. My name is Hari. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see this other Indian dude I've never seen before stand up. And I'm like, whoa. Two roads diverge. Like, you know your name isn't Harry, man. You know it's Hari. You don't need to assimilate for anybody, man. Be who you are. Don't Bobby Jindal this shit. Don't Nikki Haley this shit. Be who you are. Follow me. I will take you to freedom. I am Harriet Tubman. All right, I said I was going to come up with a metaphor, so here we go. Having a child during a global pandemic is like being stranded and then hitching a ride with the Donner Party. Because they ate people. So if you'd feel good that you got a ride, but then it'd be like, oh no. Oh, not that one. All right, not that one. I'm getting older. I know I'm getting older because I like dark chocolate now. Never thought that shit would happen to me. Give me a chocolate that reflects how I feel as an adult. Less sweet and more bitter. Getting older, I laughed at a New Yorker cartoon. Out loud. It wasn't even a chuckle, it was a hearty guffaw. Heard Weezer on classic rock radio. Started crying. I started crying because I realized I now listen to classic rock radio. And I own a radio. Getting older, can't eat spicy food anymore. Yeah, do you realize how humiliating that shit is? Indian person can't eat spicy food. It's like a tiger losing his stripes. Imagine being at an Indian restaurant, waiter comes up to you, he's like, sir, what spice level would you like? Give me the mild. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. I said, give me the mild. The mild. Indian mild or white mild? Indian mild, don't you insult me. But the truth is, it's white mild. I want it to taste like ketchup. I'm a fraud, I'm a phony, I'm a liar. My stomach's been gentrified. Can't believe it took like 2+ years to get back on stage because of COVID. People wouldn't wear masks and people didn't want to get vaccinated. You think I want to wear masks? Nobody wants to wear masks. You just do it, right? You just have to do it. You think, do you realize how painful it was for my parents to see me wearing a doctor's mask? Rubbing salt in the wound. People didn't want to get vaccinated. Like, look, I'll admit something too. Like, I was an anti-vaxxer at one point, all right? Truth, I was an anti-vaxxer at one point. And then I turned 7 and understood the science and the public health need and moved on with it. Some of the excuses people have for not getting vaccinated are flimsy, right? People say stuff like, well, I care about what I put into my body. No, you don't. You're an American. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you don't. No, you don't. The most popular cookie in this country are Oreos. Nobody knows what's in an Oreo cookie. You know what's not in it? Dairy. Which is weird because there's cream in the middle. Oh, it's not cream. It's spelled C-R-E-M-E. Creme. What the fuck is creme? I don't know. We're gonna eat it. If we cared so much about what we put in our body, why does Guy Fieri exist? Teaching us how to hurt ourselves with food. Then there are the people who are like, I just need more research, all right? I need more studies, I need more science, I need more research, I need more studies, which is bullshit, right? Because one of the vaccines is made by Pfizer, right? And before this vaccine, Pfizer's other big hit was Viagra, the original Pfizer booster, right? And when Viagra came out, I don't remember a bunch of dudes being like, have there been enough studies? Has there been enough research? I just want to know, is it safe? Is there enough science? I just want to know if there's enough research. That's not what happened. It was more like, okay, increased risk of heart attacks. Okay, increased risk of strokes. Okay, liver failure, wow. Yes, I will take the dick pills, yes. After some careful consideration. When people of color don't get vaccinated, I get it. You know, history of racist science in this country, Tuskegee experiment, black people being injected with syphilis, like I get it. Like, fool me once, like I get it. But white people, the government's not trying to hurt you. The government hurts people of color so you don't get hurt. The only white person that's ever been injected with something experimental turned into Captain America. And if the government really wanted to hurt white people, why would they use something stupid like vaccines and not something more practical like ranch dressing? Maybe one of you is thinking, Hari, is that joke racist against white people? No, not yet. But hopefully one day it will be. Hey, Hari, did you do that joke in Richmond, Virginia last month? No, I did not. I did not. But everybody says you're so brave. No, I am selectively brave. I am a coward. COVID didn't affect all communities the same way. Like the Asian American community not only had to deal with COVID, they had to deal with the risk of hate crimes, right? Because people are so ignorant, they started beating Asian people up because the thing started in China. Oh, we gotta beat the Asian people up. Like, how ridiculous is that? Like when swine flu happened, we weren't beating up cops. Hari, did you do that joke in Richmond, Virginia? No, I did not. No, I did not. Was not gonna do it. No way. They do not like double Muslims there. A lot of relationships didn't make it through the pandemic. That's why I feel good about my relationship, because me and my partner lived together in a studio apartment during the pandemic while pregnant. And we're still together, so that must be a good thing, right? Because it ended in a birth that easily could have led to 2 deaths, right? Or 3 deaths, depending on your politics, I suppose. But we kept him. You can laugh, we kept him. He loves that joke. I think he does. Do you realize how hard it is to live with another human being in a studio apartment? Do you realize how hard it is to argue in a studio apartment? What happens if you have a really bad fight? What do? Storm off under the bed? It's only one room. The only other room is the bathroom, which has great strategic value, right? Because if she goes to the bathroom first, the fight's over, right? Because at some point, I'm gonna be like, sweetie, can I just use the... Oh, look who comes crawling back! Mr. Moneyball isn't really a sports movie. You're a fucking liar. It's a baseball math movie. The worst kind of movie. It's really hard being a pandemic parent during that. Was anybody else pregnant during that period of time? It was hard. It was so it's hard to explain to people how bad it was, just because like we were in the epicenter, right? It was like for us it was like March, April, May, June, right? The epicenter of the pandemic, 2020, right? And we couldn't see our friends, we couldn't see our families. I couldn't go to doctor's visits with my partner, right? We couldn't meet other pregnant couples who were going through the same thing, right? It was really sad and it was lonely. Like we didn't have a baby shower, like we didn't do a gender reveal because we're not idiots, like. Gender reveals is so stupid, man. Because it's not even the gender, it's the gender that was assigned at birth, right? Because imagine in like 15 years, your kid goes up to you, he's like, Dad, I'm transgender. Oh, what? You mean I accidentally burnt down that forest for nothing? Damn. So anyway, like things were incredibly hard in New York, right? And you saw these stories of, bodies being put into freezers and into trucks, and we were constantly worried about like getting COVID and the kid getting COVID, and it was just horrible. So we did what we thought made sense. We flew cross country to where her parents live to have the baby. It was a smart thing to do. Unfortunately, where we went, that place was San Diego. And I fucking hate San Diego, man. San Diego fucking sucks. Where, are you from San Diego? Or are we booing San Diego? The problem with boos is that they don't say a lot in terms of the context. Let me explain to you why San Diego sucks, all right? When you ask somebody from San Diego what's great about San Diego, what do they say? Oh, the weather's wonderful, right? The weather's great, right? That's how you know it sucks. That means nothing else is going on. Just talking about the climate? What is that? In New York, we don't talk about the weather. We have a billion things to do and talk about, right? Also, our weather sucks here, so what are we even gonna say? Oh, summers in New York are wonderful. It's like 100 degrees and humid, and all the smells from the subway rise to the surface. All the ghosts of fluids past enter your nostrils and make the rent worth it. Luckily, we have a million other things to talk about. In fucking San Diego, people in San Diego don't go to museums unless there's a museum about board shorts. San Diego is an intellectual and cultural void. All it is people at the beach blasting Amber by 311 on repeat. That's all it is. Amber is the color of your energy. What the fuck does that mean, San Diego? My poor child was born there. One day I'm gonna have to break it to him, because he's gonna have questions. Daddy, how come I struggle to read? You were born in San Diego, son. They're not big fans of the written word there. Daddy, how come people say I have a crappy personality? You were born in San Diego, son. Characters built on hardship. They don't even have rain there. Daddy, is the reason why I'm always kind of tan because I'm from San Diego? No, son, it's because you're half Indian. But the fact you asked me that stupid of a question is because you're from San Diego. The people in the hospital were wonderful. All the doctors and the nurses, all the staff there. I think they were all transplants from other cities, and they were great. On the second day, we met this lactation specialist who taught my partner how to use a breast pump, and she was wonderful. She loved her job so much, maybe a little too much. So at one point, she said, oh my God, I had so much extra breast milk after my last pregnancy, I started putting it in my cereal. That's how you know you've been in the breast milk game a little too long. When you start saying shit like that to civilians. Not other people in the breast milk community. There's a big debate amongst parents. How long is too long to breastfeed your child, right? And I think that if your child is able to say, Mother, can I have some of your sweet, sweet breast milk? In a text message, it's probably too long. It's probably too long. Maybe it's time to unlatch. Me and my partner are not married, or as my mother tells her friends and family, we're married. Yeah, she's old school. She's old school about the idea of children out of wedlock. I know she's old school because she used the phrase children out of wedlock. I'm fine with that. You know, different generation, I understand that. What bothers me is when the government has judgments, right? After we had the kid, I'm in the hospital room, filling out a form, and the question is relationship status, and there's only two options, single and married. Well, I'm not single, we're not married, where's the box for us? Where's the box that says loving, deeply committed relationship, right? No box for that. A lot of missing boxes. No box for that, no box for like bad marriage, rando, open relationship where one person is into it way more than the other person. No, just single and married, right? So I reluctantly check single, give it back to the nurse. The nurse gives me another form. It's a proof of paternity form. It's a legal document I have to sign to swear this is actually my child, right? And I found out that married fathers don't have to sign that form because apparently the assumption is they're married, so clearly it's their kid. You know, give me an example where that's not the case. I don't know, Jesus? That seems to be a notable example. Must have been weird for Joseph to fill out the forms, man. I mean, like, okay, so we're married, right? But it was an immaculate conception, so like it's like God's kid, but we are like married, and he is my son, but you know, it's a little complicated. And then the nurse was like, "Oh, is that what she told you?" I know that some people don't like when I talk about Christianity. Like, why don't you talk about your own religion? How come you can't use your own religion for that joke? You don't think I want to? My God, perfect parallel, like Shiva and Parvati, right? And Parvati makes Ganesha out of turmeric and brings him to life. It's like perfect, right? But I can't use that example because nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Gotta explain everything. Oh, Ganesha, is that the monkey one? No, it's not the monkey one. Not the monkey one. Gotta explain what turmeric is. This is turmeric. You know, no? Turmeric. Oh, turmeric! Why didn't you say so? I love turmeric. Oh my, I put it in my chai tea. In my tea tea. And then I say namaste. It's pronounced namaste. Wendy at yoga says namaste, so I don't know. I like how I did so many jokes so far, and this is the one that bothers Brooklyn the most. This is the one that's a little too close to home. So, at a certain point, my partner and the baby, they left the room. I guess they went to get some tests or something, and this doctor walked in, and I was still pissed off about the relationship status question on the form. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, I think this is bullshit that like it just says single and married because I'm neither of those things, but there's no box for me. Like there is no box for loving, deeply committed relationship. And I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but I'd like to do something here. And he looked at me, he's like, hey, the government says you're single, so I say you're single. I say you party, man. Wait, you like nurses? I met the only doctor in this hospital from San Diego. Is that what happened? So then he's like, hey, you Indian? Which, whatever follows is not gonna be good, right? I'm like, yes, I'm Indian. He's like, oh, I went to med school with an Indian guy, which is suspect immediately, right? Like, oh, you went to med school with just one Indian guy? Just one? Just one Indian guy in your med school, just one. Just, where was the med school? Pakistan? How on earth is that possible? How is that possible? Just one? Just one. So I went to med school with this Indian guy. He's Brahmin. Brahmins are like really strict caste. They don't eat meat. They don't drink alcohol. The other castes don't like them. And it's like so he's Brahmin. So we went out to dinner. And I offered him some chicken. He's like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm a Brahmin. And I'm like, oh, you're a Brahmin? Well, I'm a tit man. No wonder we're friends. And then he walked out of the room. And to this day, I don't know if this man was actually a doctor. You walk into my room, you tell me to cheat on my partner the day my child is born. You tell me a weird Indian caste joke with a pun. And then you leave. You're like the fucking reverse Patch Adams. Clown pretending to be a doctor. I use the word partner a lot, which sometimes can confuse people, like especially when you have a conversation with somebody you don't really know. It's the first time you're talking to them, and you're sharing your stories about your life. It's like, oh, my partner, my kid, And at some point during that conversation, I can figure out that they just figured out that I'm not gay, and my partner is a woman, and the disappointment on their liberal faces when they figure it out, because they thought they were hearing a story about an interracial gay couple raising a child in Brooklyn. Oh, this is like an NPR story. This is great. This is great. And then all of a sudden they figured it out, like, oh crap, two straights being boring. What is this, live with Kelly and Ryan? Love being in a relationship, man. I wasn't good at being single. Part of it is I don't drink very much. That's never been a thing for me. And dating, you're expected to drink. That was never my vice. My vice is always sugar, but if my date gets a beer, I can't be like, ooh, let me take out my Starburst. You know what I mean? Skittle? Would you like a Skittle? It doesn't work that way. I have a lot of friends who are single, they're dudes, they're bitter about it, and they say the same shit they've been saying since high school. Like, man, this girl stuck me in the friend zone. I can't believe this shit. I'm stuck in the friend zone. I can't believe it. This girl stuck me in the friend. You mean friendship? I believe the term you're looking for is friendship. You know, the thing she agreed to, not the long con you had planned the whole time, where she magically falls in love with you at the end, because you think life is a John Cusack movie from the 80s. You can't be angry with her. She was just following the rules and regulations of friendship. You can't be angry with her. That's like me being angry and saying, man, I can't believe this doctor won't suck my dick. I'm in the doctor-patient zone. Why does he keep asking me to take my clothes off? Why is he teasing me? Did that endoscopy mean nothing to him? Is he seeing other patients? Having a child during a global pandemic is like buying real estate in Austro-Hungary after Archduke Franz Ferdinand gets assassinated, thus spurring World War I. I don't know. This is that freak pro-World War I crowd. I don't know if I can trust this. Man, been reading a lot of children's books. I don't know the last time you've read the Curious George books. Very disturbing. Let me remind you, right? So there's a man in a yellow hat, right? And he steals this monkey from Africa. Where in Africa? Oh, just Africa. You know, Africa City, Africa, all right? And steals this monkey, brings it back to America. To put in a zoo or a sanctuary? No, to live with in his apartment. Where the monkey goes on a bunch of adventures / attempts to escape his captor. And this man has the audacity to call this monkey curious. Yes, I would have some questions as well. Who are you? Where am I? Why do I understand English for no reason? And you knew something was wrong with this guy because his name was the man in the yellow hat. That is not a real name. That is the description of a suspect. Police interviewing Curious George's mother. Can you describe the man that kidnapped your son? All I remember was that he was a man wearing a yellow hat. Well, you didn't specify his race, so we know he's white. And a yellow hat. Well, no way he's gonna wear the exact same thing for every book of this series. But the thing is, it wasn't just a yellow hat, man. It was yellow pants, yellow shirt, yellow tie, pointy yellow hat. You see what I'm saying? This sick fuck was dressed like a banana. He was kidnapping monkeys while dressed like a banana. He was the John Wayne Gacy of monkey trafficking. Number 1 threat to monkeys, man in the yellow hat. Number 2 threat, of course, monkeys jumping on the bed. His one fell down and he broke his head. And apparently none of the other monkeys learned that lesson. And they kept jumping on the bed, and the corpses of monkeys went all the way to the ceiling, and it was absolutely horrific. Man, I need more adult friends, man. Shit. What happened to me, man? People ask me, hey, Hari, what are you reading? Matilda. A little Amelia Bedelia, you know. Oh, God. I want my child to do whatever he wants to do with his life except stand-up comedy. I want him nowhere near this criminal enterprise. My God, I'm gonna invest in so much mental health that's not gonna seem possible to him, right? And if he still wants to do stand-up comedy after all that, I'm gonna sit him down and I'm gonna be like, hey, do you realize how hard your grandparents had to work? So I can do stand-up comedy. What I'm telling you is the safety net is gone. You better learn to code. I cannot help you. What I really want my child to be is a professional athlete, right? And not for the reasons you think, right? I want him to be a professional athlete so I can vicariously live through him. Is that what you thought? Because that's exactly what it was, yes. I want him to be like Steph Curry, man. I fucking love Steph Curry, man. That guy, he's wonderful. He's a really nice guy. He's an incredible basketball player. This is how good Steph Curry is at basketball, all right? Steph Curry is so good at basketball, I have seen multiple Indian people wear his jersey. Do you understand what I'm saying? Steph Curry is so good at basketball, I've seen Indian people wear shirts in public with the word curry on it. That's how good Steph Curry is. Steph Curry is so good, he makes you forget your childhood trauma. I made a documentary a few years ago called The Problem with Apu. Thanks. People who saw it generally liked it. People who didn't see it hated it. And they call me a cuck snowflake simp on the internet. On Twitter, I'm just a cuck. There might be people here who are like, oh, you're the same cuck? I didn't know that. Oh, this hour's less cucky than your other stuff. Wow, way to go, cuck. For those of you who didn't see the documentary, it's about what it feels like when you're a member of a small community and you only have one thing that represents you, and it's a cartoon character voiced by a white guy that's a stereotype, and that's all you get. That's your whole community. That's you, your mom, your dad, your brother, your grandmother, your grandfather. It's all this community. That's all you get, right? Representation for Indian people in this country was so bad back then that you know that film Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, right? Yeah. When that film came out, it was called Revolutionary. It's a fucking weed movie. But Indian people were so desperate, we went to that shit in droves like it was our Black Panther. We just kept going multiple times. We went to White Castle after the movie. Oh, it's part of the movement. What movement? Bowel movement? What are you talking about? What are we doing right now? Oh, they see us as human beings. We can talk for ourselves. So sad. How is that revolutionary? It's a weed movie. Oh, oh, God, Indian people smoke weed. They're just like us. Can you believe it? Indian people smoke weed. They're just like us. Of course we smoke weed. We invented weed. Ganja, sativa, we invented that shit. But it's obvious. Come on, elephant god, monkey god, 8 arms. It takes a certain kind of mind. Yeah, Dad, you studied botany. Okay, is that right? Botany? That's what we're calling it? Botany. My father was a botanist. It's hard to say anything positive about COVID, but I will say it was pretty amazing to be able to spend every day of my child's first year on this planet with him. It was like I had paternity leave, man. I felt Scandinavian. It's unbelievable. Last year, Pete Buttigieg and his husband had twins, and he took 2 months of paid paternity leave off. And the conservative media got really upset about that, and Tucker Carlson said, "Good luck learning how to breastfeed." And then he said a homophobic slur in his head. Tucker Carlson's such a piece of shit. It's not even a good segue. It's just what echoes in my head constantly. All he does is hurt the country. Like he pushed that whole big lie that Trump actually won the election, but it was rigged. He kept pushing that, got people all worked up. January 6th happened, and all these people stormed into the Capitol because the colonizers were getting restless, right? You have all these people that look like extras from Mad Max and rogue juggalos and maybe some tourists that just got in the line. I don't know. But Trump wouldn't concede, even though he knew he lost. He wouldn't concede. He's like, "Release the Kraken," right? Which is plural, I think, for cracker. And whenever I make jokes like that, there's always people like, "Is that really helping, Hari? Who is that helping? Who is that helping?" Depends on who you ask. If you know anybody with melanin, it's helping. Nothing I could do on stage could possibly hurt race relations more than what Tucker Carlson has done in his career. Even in the last year, man, he keeps pushing this white replacement theory, which is so racist, man. And now he's denying it, but there's been so much footage of it, right? And this theory, let me explain this theory to you. The theory is that people from other countries are going to come to this country, and they're going to commit violent acts against white people and steal their jobs and interbreed with the white population and eliminate the white race, right? That is not a theory, all right? It's karma, but it's not a theory. Are you upset we stole your business plan? Like, what is the... It angers me so much, because who is he talking about? He's talking about me, my partner, my kid, and my parents. Fuck that dude, man. It's not even a legitimate theory. It's not a theory, it's a fear you have. A fear you have isn't the same thing as a theory. Like, I have fears too, right? I fear that one day there's going to be a bunch of other South Asian comics who are younger and more hungry and more talented than I am. And they'll take my spot, right? And I won't be able to support myself and my family, right? I call this the Hari replacement theory. And that, of course, would never happen. Right? There's no factual basis for that. It would never happen. Right? I don't know if you're laughing sarcastically or not. It's not a real theory, man. It's not a real theory. Because this shit has been around forever. White people have been afraid about being the minority and being replaced forever. Like, I remember, like, a decade ago, I was on a college campus. I saw a sign that said, "Diversity equals white genocide." Maybe. Maybe. But whose fault is that exactly, right? Like, I didn't make up the definition of white. People of color didn't make it up. White people a long time ago made it up. They said, if you're anything other than white, you're not allowed to be white. Well, you made our DNA your kryptonite. And now, we might have to fuck you out of existence. Look, I don't support genocide. I want you to know that. I don't support genocide, but you have to admit, that's the sexiest genocide you've ever heard of. I'm gonna fuck you until meatloaf gets considered an ethnic food. Can't wait for that shit. For white food to be considered an ethnic food. I want to be the culturally insensitive food reporter that reviews white food. Meatloaf. It's meat in the shape of a loaf. Primitive, much like the culture that created it. Meatloaf apparently looks the same going in as it does coming out. And the taste, my God, the taste. Apparently the whites conquered the world looking for spices, then chose not to use any of them. Except pumpkin. I can't wait to get canceled in like 40 years and white people are the minority, you know? And people dig up my old bits and I get interviewed like, "Hari, is it true that you once wanted the white minority to be victims of genocide?" I mean, you gotta understand, like, it was a different time back then. But I wanna take this opportunity to apologize to all the people of white that I might have offended. I wanna apologize to the people of white in my life, my maid, my gardener, my indentured servant. And I want you to know, I have white friends. I have white friends, and they can vouch for me. I'm a good person. This isn't like me. Or I have, you know George? George? John? Ringo? Paul? Harry? Liam? Adele? There's so many. There's so many that I have. I'd also like to take this opportunity to apologize to white civil rights leader Tucker Carlson for the terrible things I've said about him. Tucker Carlson, AKA the white Nelson Mandela, who's been imprisoned for 40 years in a Trader Joe's in Berkeley, California. Maybe I'm being unfair to Tucker Carlson. No, don't worry, it's a setup for a joke. Because as a parent, I think about how every choice I make has some impact on my kid, right? And maybe he's a victim of destiny, right? He had no choice in the matter. He had no choice in the matter. Like, think about this. I'll give you 2 reasons why I don't think he had any choice. He was destined to be a piece of shit, all right? Reason number 1, his name. His full name is Tucker McNear Swanson Carlson. Each one of those names sounds like a guy you should never accept a drink from in a bar. Second reason why I think he was destined to be a piece of shit. Where did he grow up? San Diego. I rest my case. I rest my case. Having a child during a global pandemic is like boarding the Titanic after it hit the iceberg. Oh, come on, though. That's right. Like, you get there, you're like, oh, I can't believe the tickets were so cheap. Why are they making a sport in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? Then you get on the boat and you're like, oh my God, we're sinking? Oh, Groupon, you fucked me again. It's been a week, as of this recording, it's been a week since Roe v. Wade was overturned. And so many reasons to be angry. And now they're gonna go after contraception. That's the next move, right? They're gonna go after like the morning after pill, which has changed so many people's lives, this morning after pill. A pill a woman can take that speeds up her cycle and prevents her from getting pregnant. That's incredible, right? The one unfortunate thing about Plan B is that when it speeds up a woman's cycle, it might cause her pain for 3 or 4 days. Meanwhile, there's a dude that's equally responsible here who suffers nothing at all, which is why I think Plan B should come with the sympathy tablet that men have to take, so they're in pain for 3 or 4 days as well. Yeah. Split the crowd. There are some dudes that clap, but they're with women, so it's suspect. Yeah! Oh, yeah, believe that. I totally believe that, yeah! You fucking cuck. We had to make a hard decision, right? We didn't expect to be pregnant, and all of a sudden, we had to make a choice, and it was by far the hardest decision I was ever a part of. And obviously, it was really my partner's choice, but we talked through it together. And, you know, it was incredibly hard. And this isn't to say that because it was a hard decision, it's more valid than a decision that, you know, was easy to make, as a person should control their body regardless, right? That's obvious. But it was hard for us, and we had to ask ourselves, like, a lot of big questions, right? Are we okay with our lives being ruined? It's true. The life you have is gone, all right? It's weird these people call themselves pro-life, because 2 lives are gone. They're gone. You can't live the way you used to live. You can't just go to dinner whenever you want. You can't just, go on a vacation whenever you want. Why? Because if you choose to live that way after you have a kid, you will go to jail. What are you supposed to? Oh, Your Honor, we put 2 weeks of food in the crib, How are we supposed to know he didn't know how to pace himself? I mean, come on. Could I deal with this kid growing up to be more famous than me? Some of you knew that was a joke. Some of you, after hearing the rest of this, are not sure anymore. Would we go into financial ruin? And if so, could we sue Delta for $1.7 million? People who are not parents don't understand that there is a parental tax, right? Things that are not official taxes, but are there, right? Like, all of you paid about $30 to get in here, $30 for a ticket. Are there parents here who have young kids? Okay, right. Did you get babysitters? Yeah, okay. So you're paying $30 a ticket, plus you got a babysitter, maybe 15 an hour, or if you really care about the kid, maybe 30. Right. Right. Maybe it's your first kid or something, right? And if you add all that up, it's like $200 for the night to see me, $200, right? Each of you paying $30 each. They're paying $100 each. They're the only people in here who are paying what the show is actually worth. Oh man, I really thought having a kid would curb my ego, but no, I guess. I have a shockingly big ego for someone who's only moderately notable in coastal cities. Or wherever public radio is popular. I can't get through a farmer's market. Oh, yes, I would love a ramp. Oh, somebody bludgeon me. The worst thing I've ever done because of my ego happened in 2017. All right, I'm on Twitter. I got a direct message from someone I've never met before. Again, 2017, all right? This is how it goes. Hey there, my name is Alexandria, and I'm running an insurgent grassroots campaign for Congress in Queens and the Bronx. The race itself is very exciting. We represent a progressive movement that would lead to the first person of color to represent the district. Your stand-up comedy is amazing, and I know it must resonate with a lot of people. If you'd ever like to collaborate, let me know. my door is open. And I replied, I'm pretty busy right now. Why don't you get back to me next year? She said, definitely. And I said, thanks for doing what you do, Alexis. So, despite me being a complete piece of shit, she still replied 3 months later. She said, hey there, it's a bit well past the new year, but if you happen to be around, I'd love to connect sometime to see what we can make happen for the community here in Queens. This is Alexandria, by the way, running for Congress out in New York District 14, Queens, and the Bronx. 3 months later, I'm watching CNN. The Democratic primary returns come in. I'm reading a scroll on the bottom of the screen. It says, Alexandria Ocasio. Oh shit, was that the lady? Oh no, I think that was the lady. Did I ever write back? Fuck, I never wrote back. Shamelessly, the night she won, I finally wrote back. Oh my God, you did it! I knew you'd win. Hey, if you'd ever like to collaborate sometime. Having a child during a global pandemic is like replying to AOC after she wins the fucking election. And I don't think she's gonna write back. I think the door is closed. Thank you very much, Brooklyn. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out. Thank you.